Hey everyone, welcome back to New Release Today. I'm Bradden and today we're here with another amazing new artist that we're covering. We're doing it digitally because there's a little bit of distance here, but I'm here with the one and only Daniel Spriggs. I think I got your name right.
Spriggs, Spriggs. Spriggs.
Gotcha. There we go. Starting it off with that.
We got it.
Well, dude, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing really good. Having a great day. Working at the church, working in the studio. It's been a good day today. How about you?
Awesome, man. I'm doing a good day here as well. Just, had some banking issues. I told you I lost my debit card, but
Yeah.
got everything sorted out. So just a fun little maze to go through with your day. So.
Yeah.
But here's the highlight so far, dude. So, man, I'm so excited we get to talk with you here on New Release Today. For people who don't know who you are, guys, you need to listen to this guy's music. He has two singles out, and they are absolutely mind blowing. And dude, you just released your new song, Heart to Heart, which is powerful. It's raw. It's into that pop punk
Praise
era that
God.
I love so much. Dude, what's it been like releasing your second single now? What's that whole experience been like seeing the reaction to this?
Totally, man. So I think my experience with music in the last few years has been like we just have fun making songs in our town, and I'm just excited to show them to the other people who like work in my studio. And I haven't necessarily I was sitting at just like a few streams on Washing the Water, and it was just like me and my friends that were like, "Hey, cool song," and now it's like a little more overwhelming with a lot of people listening to Heart, which I'm thankful for. I am on my face in gratitude to the Lord that He would bless me by being able to connect with people and the message of the song to resonate with people. So thankful for that. But it's been a week. I've found myself retreating to the coffee shop to do quiet devotions a couple times just because it's a little noisy otherwise with people loving and digging the track. So thankful for that. I feel grateful and blessed beyond more than what I can bear. So praise God for that.
Definitely, man. I fully understand that because, I first learned about your music with "Washed in the Water," which a mutual friend
Okay.
of ours, Grace Graber, she sent me the song. And she said,
Yes.
yes, she said you're gonna need to listen to this. You're gonna love it. And right then, instant fan, man. And with "Heart to
Praise
Heart,"
God. I appreciate that.
yes, and with "Heart to Heart," dude, it just got even better. Literally one of my favorite songs I've heard this year. What's the story behind this song for all those listening? It's a pop punk banger. It's so raw. It's so powerful. What's the story behind this song, dude?
The funny thing is the story behind releasing. I was sitting at this table right back here, and I was like playing it, just like it was actually a song I cut from my record.
Oh,
And I was hanging out with my photographer, and I was just like clicking through like stuff I was making, and he was like, "What's that one?" And I was like, "It's not on my record anymore. I cut it because it sounds like another one kind of, and I didn't want to like muddy the waters." And he was like, "If you don't release that right now, I'm gonna kill you." And I was like, "Okay, all right, I will." So I posted a reel about it. And the reel did like TikTok did well, and like people were digging it. So I was like, all right, let me finish this track. I finished it in a few days with the help of my friend Austin Appling, who's down in Franklin, and my friend Blake Pence, who's also down. Austin plays for Building 429 and Haven, and Blake does like production for like Colton Dixon and Building 429 and people like that. They're really cool. So like they helped me finish it in a couple days. And then we kind of just like put it out. The story behind the song was really just like, I think a place that we've all been in. I think that there's things that we don't like to talk about as Christians in the sense of we don't like to like if we've been holding on to a sin, that's kind of the part we like to leave out. We like that to be the unspoken prayer request. We like that to be the thing that we don't really like talk about in a small group, like because it's shameful and it's something we're not proud of, and like but that time that we hide because we're holding on to anger or any sin that we struggle with. It's like we disconnect from God, and like it comes to a point where it's like I feel empty. I am on completely zero, and like it's time for us to be like, all right, God, it's time to have a heart to heart. It's time to sit together, and you tell me how I'm wrong. You tell me how to fix it, and it's gonna hurt, but I'm going to just like gladly receive that conviction and sit in your presence, and like also just like I'm not gonna cry, but just like once you get past that hard barrier of sitting with God and letting him tell you how it does wrong. There's no sweeter thing than breaking through that and being on the right page with God and just sitting there and being like, I've missed this. I've missed your presence. I'm sorry that I ran from you for this period of time. And I'm so glad to be back here in your presence. Like it's so sweet and it's so good to be back on the same page. But that's a little bit, I could go on, but that's a little bit of the heart behind Heart to Heart, so to speak.
I love that, man. It's so good. And like it's a real thing for all of us. We know there's so many things
Mm,
we want to hold back from God and just struggle with ourselves. And it's being honest with him, giving it to him. Like
yeah.
this song, it's not just, a banger. It's not just a great song playing in the background. It's like a really heartfelt song. I know we're using the word heart a lot, but it's something that God
Yeah,
uses.
right?
But I love it, man. It reminds me a lot of like songs like Josiah Queen the Prodigal. Like it's got that,
Okay,
coming
cool.
back to Jesus, that revival sound. Like
Yeah,
the generation really, accepted that. And I have to see some people grabbing onto the song, not just loving the style, but loving the message, loving these words, and connecting with, wanting to be honest with God, wanting to give it all to Him and
yeah.
trust Him with all those pieces. So thank you for making that step. Just, it's raw, it's bold, it's honest, and I think it means a lot for the next generation, just for everyone listening to that.
Praise God, man. That's so great to hear.
Definitely, dude. And of course, like this song, we mentioned it a lot. You're in jumping into the pop punk sound, which we don't have much of
Yeah,
in Christian music now. Like, there's a few
it's
artists I can listen to.
true.
Exactly. So, dude, what's it been like? Like, why that style in particular? Why is that, jumping into pop punk, alternative? Why does that matter to you?
Yeah, dude. I'll jump into a little, and I'll answer that in a little bit of my testimony.
Go for
I
it.
grew up kind of like I was a pastor's kid, and kind of like around 16, I decided to do my own thing, and kind of chart my own course. Kind of like all I had known was church, so I got into music scenes that were destructive. And I played pop punk music, and I won't tell you the name of my band, and I hope you never find it. But I played pop punk music and I hung out in those circles. And I'll just talk about this moment that like um, I had an offer to go up to Ohio Christian University, and kind of go to college and do like the band thing for in Christian school. And I was like, no, that's lame, not doing that. So then it flash back to a moment after a show. I'm sitting in a green room after all the bands had played, and we were just sitting there. There's drugs, there's alcohol. The room is kind of just this one haze of smoke. And I look around, and everything almost goes slow mo. And I'm just like, there's got to be more than this, because that guy, he's laughing and he's smiling, and then we're talking to each other about how we want to die and how like we have these suicidal thoughts. But like I'm looking around, and everyone's laughing and everyone's fronting, and kind of like pretending that like everything's okay, when I know we're going to go home and talk about how sad we are and talk about how we're not fulfilled. And I'm like, there's got to be something more than this. So I take the plunge. I drive up to Ohio, in my old beat up Jeep, and flash forward 2 months. I'm on my face at the altar, and I'm like, God, like I give you all of this. I don't care what it is. I don't care about music. I don't care about this. I just know that I need to be right with my creator. So I jump into like worship sound stuff, because that like the Bethel 2016 album Have It All was like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. And like the production was also insane. But so I jump into that, and I like, and because I had a heart for people worshiping, I wanted to bring people to the time that I found, and let's be face to face with our creator honestly, and openly. But then eventually, as I kept making that, it kind of like faded away, like my desire to make like this big ambient ethereal music. And I'm just like, I'm listening to all these like Fall Out Boy. I'm wearing a Fall Out Boy shirt. Fall Out Boy bands, and like stuff that I grew up with, Panic at the Disco. And I was just like, this is what like naturally comes out of me. And like, I don't really care for the approval of other people. And I'm making music all the time. I'm working with my friends in the studio. I'm like, I'm just going to start making this, like, I'm just going to pull out my Fender Jag and like have fun and make some music that I like to hear. And then I kind of have like a whole record in my back pocket now, because I wrote so much. And Heart to Heart, like I said, was left off the record, but kind of God intervened and like pushed that out. And I'm glad that he did, because people have resonated with that. But the sound has always been like what I've gravitated towards. And I think I tried to like dress up as like a, because I love the big sky the Big Sky Timeline electric guitar sound. I love that stuff, but like I don't. It wasn't probably me when me sitting with my acoustic. I'm just playing all these like pop punk songs, and like that's what just naturally comes out of me. So yeah, long answer to your first question and a little bit of my testimony.
Man, I love that. That's so awesome how just, God reached for you in those moments because like
Mm,
I've been there struggling with like a suicidal thoughts or depression and realizing
yeah,
there has to be more to life than this. And I love
yeah.
that. That's a testimony that you get to share, especially through your music, whether it's heart to heart, washed in the water. Like, how do these songs like connect with that? From both your story, your testimony, both of these songs, how do they fit into that story?
Yes. Washing the Water, I'm going to call it a period piece, and I'm probably wrong about what that means, but I really just was like, hey, what would it be like for someone to be watching Jesus's miracles, but know nothing? I love to write from first person limited. A lot of times in worship music, we write like, hey, we've read all these, we know that he's faithful. We're going to write from a place of knowing. Which helps a lot because we can be trusting and we can be this. I like to write from first person limited. I like to write like asking God, can I sit at your feet? Can I waste your time? Knowing that we can't waste his time and knowing that he wants to sit with us. But I love writing from the point of view of someone who wouldn't necessarily have read the entire Bible and their most honest and pure thoughts is just, hey God, can I please spend time with you? Like, can like, I like this Andy Squires lyric that makes me cry every time I hear it. He says, I'll ask you all my questions, waste all your precious time. Oh boy, gonna cry. But like that's in I believe that's in God the Fool by Andy Squires. But like when I hear that, I'm just like I love like someone going up to their creator. It feels so, and just being like, hey, can I like have a minute of your time? And it's like he's always there. He's beyond time. He's omnipresent. He's omniscient. And like it's so cool to like put yourself in the mindset of someone who's just meeting him, which is what kind of Washed in the Water was. Is like I'm seeing this man walk in the water, and the sky is opening, and God is and like the spirit's coming down as a dove, and I'm just like an eyewitness, and then I'm seeing him come in on a donkey. And I'm seeing like all the ruckus, and I'm just like a bystander. And I just thought that would be a really cool place to write from. And then it kind of took on this kind of like this I don't know. It sounds more country to me, like Crowder to me is who I was like honestly like thinking when I like thought of the sound, and then it came out maybe a little more Green Day, but I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of the heart behind that. Is I want people to be able to approach these songs and approach God where they are, and not like, oh, you haven't heard the whole Bible, you don't know that He's faithful. No, they don't. So like, can we talk to Him as someone who's approaching Him? And like as if I have all the answers. I want to approach him from like how a child would approach their father. Can you like? Now I'm gonna cry because I have a 2-year-old daughter who just didn't want me to leave the house, but I had work to do. But like, hey, can you stay a little longer? Can I sit with you? Yeah. So anyway, I'm rambling.
Let's go, bro. I love that, man. That's just so like I'm being blown away by hearing that truth all over again because it's true. In Christians,
Mm,
we get so used to like I love worship music, but we also need those raw songs of what if like for people who don't know
yeah,
Jesus,
totally.
what it's like to jump into His presence like that. And I know that's it's a balance of what we do in Christian music. There's so many songs, there's so many ways to tell these stories, and we need just all these styles, all these perspectives coming together to reach other people who, wouldn't maybe know the word as much as we do, or maybe not heard that sermon
Amen.
we heard a few weeks ago. It's something that just really connects with them and brings them to God the Father in that way. And I love that,
Mm.
man. What's it been like for you, especially like because I believe you said you still lead worship.
I still lead worship. I'm at a church here in the sticks of Ohio. It's a small town. It's not. We have like a Little Caesars right over there, so we're not like too far out there. But yeah, it like I love leading worship. I don't necessarily sing this type of music at my church because I believe churches should be served in the way that serves them and they connect with. So it's kind of like I do make this music in the way that I feel like the kid in my situation when I was younger would connect. So that's kind of what that avenue is. And when I'm at church, I'm like, hey, you want me to sing Chainbreaker? I'll sing Chainbreaker all day. Like I want to usher you into the presence of God in the way that like gives you the warm fuzzies. And that's not going to be me like turning up the fuzz on the guitar. You know what I mean? So I love doing it all. I love just like, I think what God's called me to do is just like Paul said, be all things to all people. Here, I'm going to be what my church needs. I'm going to be what I feel like these kids making these pivotal decisions like I was in that room with the haze all around me. I want to be that um, that that I don't know, advocate. Sometimes they have something that they want to say and they just can't say it, and they turn to other songs that reflect how they're feeling. But I want to be a little bit of their mouthpiece and like say, and because I know that people have heard to heart and be like, that's what I'm feeling. And that's what people are commenting. That's what I've been trying to like articulate. And like, it's right here in front of me and I can listen to it on repeat. And like one of the most powerful things is knowing that you're not the only way that person that feels this way. So like, I think that I've like witnessed that in Heart to Heart in the last 6 days it's been out. But like, yeah, dude, God's good. And I'm so thankful for him using the song. And like I said, if I can be the mouthpiece and kind of articulate what these kids are feeling, not just kids, but the people like me are feeling, and kind of be like, not everyone has the studio or has all that. So I'll just use what I have to kind of like be their mouthpiece.
Hmm. Wow, dude. Yeah, your answers are blowing me away, to be honest. I love that. Like that. Wow. Just be able to lead worship and to know, that's how, you're serving your church, or be able to
Mm,
be that mouthpiece for God in that moment. And then, music on the side that God's leading you to, that's reaching people in their moments. Like, it's recognizing that this is more than just us. We're following God's plan and his leadership and everything, no matter where
totally.
platform, no matter where you are. And I love that. So now I'm genuinely curious to ask this. This wasn't on my notes or anything, but like
Cool.
Christian, yeah, let's go off script.
Let's
But
do
like
it.
Christian music as a whole, though, there's so many different types, and so many people they're writing things, they're putting songs out there. What would be your vision for Christian music to see you go forward? It's a mix of worship, it's a mix of the rock, punk, it's a mix of K-Love contemporary. What would you say is the vision you want to see in how music's being wrote, how it's being put out there, and how it's connecting with people?
And so do you mean my music or what I would like Christian music to look like?
What you like the whole Christian music look like?
Sometimes I'll get in rights with people, which I don't really seek them out much because I write most of my stuff when I'm sitting at Canes with my daughter or pushing her on a swing set. But like a lot of times we put the cart before the horse, and I just want to make sure that we have what we're going to say and we have something we want to say, and then we put it to music. And not that lyrics need to go first or something like that, but like I don't want to get in a room and songs to be written and then we figure out what they mean later. No, I want to know how I want this to connect in the heart of a person, and then I want to figure out how to get there. I don't want to have a batch of a bunch of songs that's like that one says something. No, like I have a purpose for when I'm starting a song because I want the listener to be able to connect in a certain way. So I think intentionality would be my answer. I think I don't dog on any genres. I sang Southern gospel music for like a couple years on a bus with my friend Ryan Jones, who also does great pop worship. You should check him out, Ryan Jones. But we sang Southern gospel for a while, so I don't dog on any genres or anything like that. Everyone connects. But I will say, looking at the landscape, I'm like, not everyone listens to like this ultra pop that is everywhere and important, but like can we reflect all of the genres? I think we have like pop and we have metal and then we have rock. I don't really think we have a lot of like pop punk, which I don't know why we would, because pop punk's kind of weird, but I would just like it to it to the genres to be very wide. But I think my answer would be intentionality, because like not that I have anything in my mind of a certain song, but sometimes I hear a song and be like, dude, they didn't have anything to say. They just had some music that they need to put words to. Like, say something to me. Give me something that, like, tell me what you're meaning, not what the room elects are words that should be said or sound cool together. And I'm not thinking of anyone specifically, so don't think that I am. But that's just, I've got that vibe from someone. I'm just like, dude, this, like, I feel like you needed something to say before you wrote a song, but I don't know. Like, I sound so, I'm not trying to sound prideful in that. I'm not better than anyone else or anyone else in that. I just would urge me and everyone to be very intentional in what we're trying to say and not put the cart before the horse. I need a song, so I'm going to write one. I don't need, dude. I just finished up a song that just like we were talking, me and my wife were talking at Canes with my daughter, and we ended up writing a song, and I just finished recording it. This was Saturday, and now it's Tuesday. But it's like I don't sit around and be like, I need a song. I wait for something to say. I feel like God could use this message, and now let's make it rockin' and like make it an earworm. So like this point that I feel like God wants to convey to you, let's make it an earworm now. But yeah, I probably sounded super prideful in that, and I'm sorry. I'm not dogging on anyone specifically. I just want everyone to be intentional.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I fully get that. No worries, no pride taken here at all. Like, it's real. I think we all know just to some songs, and I love Christian music. I love so many songs, but some of them, you wish it could be a little bit more intentional with it, with artists, with labels, with all co-writes and stuff. So I love that, man. I love how artists like you, there's so much, new artists who are just so intentional, going out there with honesty, with creativity, and I love it, man. Seeing the new wave of artists that you're a part of leading, and it's incredible seeing that God-given talent and that passion, your heart for it all, man. That makes me excited so much for the next generation of Christian music.
Mm, mm.
And for all those watching, follow Daniel on social media, all his socials. I should have said this way earlier, but check out his songs on all streaming platforms. You will not be disappointed. They're incredible. And dude, what new things do you have coming up that you can tell us before we end this interview?
Dude, okay, so first of all, March 14th, I'm releasing a song with Grace Graber. It is called My Favorite Part. We're kind of deciding how we want to get that in people's faces and how much we want to share before it comes out. But that's really cool. It's focused on mental health. And I think I referenced that song maybe earlier in the interview, but that's going to be really fun. I've got a record in my back pocket, and and Heart to Heart didn't really make the record, but I'm really glad people liked it. That's fun. But I don't know what I'm doing yet. I just finished a song here today that I'm gonna have done later today. So I'm just praying for how God leads me. I'm less organized than I should be. But yeah, God's good, and I'm thankful for what He's blessed me with. And let me reiterate, I was not thinking of anyone specifically, and I feel bad. I don't ever want to talk down on anyone because everyone's doing their best and everyone's doing a great job. But I would just sit someone across from someone with coffee and be like, hey, say what God's saying to you, not what you think you want people to hear. You know what I mean? So that's what I was trying to get at with that point.
Yes, fully understand that, man. And dude, that's exciting. So I may or may not have already heard My Favorite Part, and
yes, good. Do you like it?
May or may not be one of my favorite songs I've heard for a long time, dude.
God is so good, dude. That's awesome. I'm glad you like it.
Dude, absolutely love it. My jaw literally fell to the floor, and I literally was lost for a few minutes after. That was incredible. So, for all
God
those
is good. Oh.
yes, whether it's out when the song's already out or if it's coming out, everyone listen to that song once it comes out. You're gonna be blown away. It's incredible. Daniel, you're amazing, dude. I love your heart, love your passion, love what just God's doing in music and ministry for you. It's incredible to see. And before we close the interview, we always ask one last question, and that is, how can we pray for you?
How can you be prayed for me? Just pray that. pray that. That. How do I put this? This is the first line of the song I just worked on. It says, "Been chasing money and fame. I think we're stuck in the games we play." Pray for culture. Pray for Christian artists as a whole. That we would not chase recognition, that we would not validate ourselves through recognition, but we would really do the mission that God has called us each to individually, that we would not be hoping for the next thing. We'd be cherishing His presence. We'd be sitting at His feet. We would be, I'm not going to cry. Sorry. I've been on the verge of tears this whole interview. We'd be sitting at His feet. We'd be listening to Him and not judging success how the world does, and not be checking our streams and be like, that's not enough. Any person connected, any comment that says that this song is connected with me is more blessing than I can ask for. That's such confirmation. So just pray for me, navigating that and not putting the cart before the horse, and just remembering to keep God at the forefront and the center, and not just the center, but the only thing. His presence is is chief. It's the only important thing. And then as well, what he asks us to do to connect with people, the people connecting and the people connecting with him is the other side of importance, but not fame, not money, not brand deals, not anything like that. Just pray for our hearts to be checked and us to be convicted. That was a really long answer, and I apologize.
Amen. Preach it, bro. I love that, dude. We'll definitely be praying. And again, thank you so much for sitting down with the New Release today, letting us talk with you and just, help champion you as your heart for music and your heart for ministry and just all that you're doing. Everyone, again, listen to his music, follow Daniel on all platforms. You'll not be disappointed. And dude, thank you again, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, dude.